Hello, this is Kinninigan from RagingReptilian.com. Hope everyone's feeling good. I've been kind of lethargic. It's been like cold, rainy, and miserable for the past 2 days in Philadelphia. It is actually cold outside today. No spring, so I decided to. It's not really a remake because I'm giving more information in this video I did the first time, and that is about the Chocolate Hills in here. I'm just going to pull the pic up. The Chocolate Hills in Bohol Island, Philippines. Now there is mythology around these hills, and that mythology is around giants and a giant creature. The first thing you may think is burial mounds, but that's not the case. These would involve giants of gigantic size, possibly the size of mud fossils. Also, I'm going to give you 4 local stories of the mythology around these hills. In the center of the Philippine island of Bohol lie around 1,300 curious pointed hills named the Chocolate Hills. Their height varies from 30 meters to 120 meters compared to the flatlands around. The origin of the name remains a mystery. Some say the Chocolate Hills are so called because they turn brown between seasons. Others say that it's because they look like a box of chocolates when viewed from above. Now, when I made the video on my other channel, I was given a comment from a subscriber saying that the Chocolate Hills were being blocked out on Google Earth, and they don't know the exact amount. It's theorized it could be anywhere from around 1,000 to 2,000. 1,300 is just an estimate. And we're going to take a look at it on Google Earth. Now, scientists have said that they had thought maybe that this was the remains of an ancient seabed at one time. But, as you see here, here's the marker in Chocolate Hills. You could type it in Google Earth. And, no, you cannot get a actual kind of street view on these. Yeah, they are blocked out, and the more you go in, the worse the resolution comes. Now, there's a lot of reasons why countries, see, this is like the only kind of closest type of land. This is horrible. Yeah, you can't actually count the Chocolate Hills. You can barely see them. So, now, I understand certain countries do have secure areas that they want to keep off Google Earth or whatever, but this is just highly suspicious on why they blocked this area. So, what I'm going to do for the rest of the video is we're going to get out of Google Earth here. I'm actually going to stop the screen capture, and what I did is make a slideshow. Kind of cheers me up when I got all these pictures because the pictures are actually quite breathtaking. And the slideshow, as I play this, I am going to tell you the 4 local myths involving the Chocolate Hills. Now, the first 2 are the not so romantic ones, and I will leave the most romantic one for last. It's kind of I'll put them in that order. There's 4 of them. I believe the first time I made this video, I only knew of 3 of the local mythologies, but there was actually 4. 3 of them involved giants, 1 involved an animal. And these giants, again, would have had to have been of gigantic size, probably miles high, as you'll see when I tell you the mythology around them. So anyway, I'm going to stop the screen capture and start the slideshow and tell you the local mythologies around these Chocolate Hills. Now, the first one is a story involving a giant caribou, a swamp-dwelling buffalo. This caribou kept eating the villagers' crops, and in an attempt to put an end to this And to put an end to this, the villagers gathered all the rotting food they could find and left it in a huge pile for the caribou. The giant caribou ate the rotting food. However, its stomach couldn't handle the rotten food, and he was violently ill. His explosive feces covered the island of Bohol and became the Chocolate Hills. Now, I know, as I said though, imagine how big that caribou would have had to have been to leave that kind of a mess, right? Now, the second mythology involves a giant by the name of Miguel. Now, this giant was also a glutton, meaning he was highly obese. And this giant named Miguel fell in love with a young woman named Adriana. Adriana rejected his love because of his gluttonous. So, to win her love, he worked on losing his weight by discharging everything he ate. The fecal matter that he dispelled all over Bohol then became the Chocolate Hills. Now, I told you the first two were a little, but the size of the caribou and the size of the giant Miguel would have had to been huge in order for that to have even happened. However, it does tie in with the size of some of the mud fossil mythology that we hear about. Now the third mythology is the rumors of two giants that were fighting. These two giants had got into a argument. They battled long and hard, flinging giant boulders at each other. After days of fighting, both giants collapsed, exhausted. Their exhaustion caused them to forget about their feud, and they became great friends. However, they were so busy getting along, they didn't tidy the boulders which they left to become the Chocolate Hills. Now, in order for two giants to be that big, hurling rocks at each other, and the size of the hills, you get the idea. Now, the fourth one, which is the best one, the one I like the best. The next story is a little more romantic. A giant named Arago fell in love with a mortal woman in Bohol. After she died, as what happens to all mortals, Arago was so upset that he cried tears all over Bohol, which solidified to become the Chocolate Hills. Again, a story involving a giant, and that one is the most romantic, because the size of his tears, as you see with the size of the hills here. So, I hope you enjoyed the mythology. I think there is definitely some kind of mud fossil mythology or mythos around these islands in the Philippines. They have not been excavated. The exact number is not been counted and known. It is a tourist area, but the tourist area, from what I see, is mostly like places you could just go out and overlook and view the hills. These links will be in the description. I hope you enjoyed the slideshow. Again, it's quite a beautiful place. The mythology around them is quite interesting. I will leave the two links in the description from where I got the mythology from. And there's also one of the links will actually give you the directions if you ever plan on actually traveling here to go see them. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. If there's any questions or comments, leave them below. And until we speak again, this is Kinninigan, and take care.